Hey guys, Kirk here from Bite, and today I'm really excited to bring you our new 16mm film pack. It's really cool because we were finally able to actually get some 16mm film and go out and do some shoots and make scans in 4K. So we've got some really nice grains and textures and gates for you guys here. And this is going to end up being the perfect toolbox to make that real 16mm look on your film. So let's get started and I will show you how these assets work. If you download this package, you're going to get this folder structure here. And to begin with, I'm going to open up the grain folder. So when you open up the folder, you're going to see that you have a variety of different grains here. We shot a bunch of different film stock so that you have different strengths of grain to work with. So for example, the Kodak 50D is quite a fine grain, and then the 500T is a much denser, more edgy kind of grain. I personally like this one a lot, so let's grab this one to show you guys how to use them. So you simply drop that over your footage, come up to the blend mode, and we're going to choose overlay for this one. And you'll see that it says that in the title of the clip. And then one more thing, because these are shot in or scanned in 4K, you want to go and set to frame size. And that's because I'm working in a 1080 timeline right now. So after I do set to frame size, it's going to decrease the scale down to 50%. And yeah, now you immediately have this really nice grain on your image. You're getting that beautiful analog look, that 16mm look. But if you want to actually make the grain even more intense, you can come back and change the blending mode to hard light. And that's going to just pop that grain out even more. This is going to make that grain really clear and noisy and defined in your image. For me, I'm just going to keep this for now on the overlay setting, but we want to take this 16mm look even further, so let's get a film gate. So as you can see, again, we've got a variety of different kinds of gates here. This one here is 16mm with the perforation inside. All you have to do is drag and drop and set the blending mode to multiply, which is in the title again. And then we have this one here, which is really interesting. What we wanted to do was preserve as much halation as possible on this one. So when you use a blending mode, it tends to take out a lot of the different light interactions happening in the image, the highlights on the film. So this one we actually pre-keyed it ourselves rather than using a blending mode. So you can drop that one straight onto your timeline and no blending mode, but if you're in 1080 you do want to set the frame size, and then you can see that you've got that nice glowing edge around the border. And with this gate in particular, guys, I'm going to show you a little trick here to make it slightly more realistic. So you can see that this is an overscan image, which means that the previous and the next frame are slightly visible at the top and bottom of your frame here, right? So what we want to do to kind of match that look is we're going to duplicate the clip that we are overlaying this gate onto, and you want to make two copies and move one all the way up to the top of the image and one all the way to the bottom, and just line them up to the border of that gate, and then you're going to get this super realistic 16mm look. And that's a pretty cool look if you ask me. And then we've got a bunch of other gates over here, of course, guys. So let's just reset the timeline and take a look at this gate plus perforation here. So just drag and drop that over your image, set the blend mode to multiply, and then don't forget to set to frame size. Okay. So this is sort of a typical 16mm letterbox, right? Like you've probably seen something pretty similar to this before, maybe in other asset packs. But what's unique about the one that we're trying to give you guys is that you can come over here into the perforations folder, and we have scanned the perforations themselves, so you can actually choose which one you want and customize it to the effect that you're trying to create. So I'm going to grab the red one, set the blend mode to screen, resize it, and then I mean, I can literally just place this however I want it to be, right? Using the position and the scale controls, you can customize this however you want, and the same goes for the other white perforation that you saw. So let me just find a really nice position here. Okay, yeah, like right up here in the corner, that looks pretty realistic, pretty nice. Yeah, and I mean, now you've already got a perfect realistic 60 millimeter look using all real 60 millimeter assets. We're just trying to provide you guys with a toolbox here. You know, you've got a variety of different gates you can customize. You can create the style of letterbox that works best for you with the perforations. And not only that, actually, there's a whole nother section of this package, which is the film burns. So if you go into the film burn folder, you'll see that we also have a huge variety of burns here, mostly 60 millimeter, but with this one 8 millimeter bonus. And you can just use these however you want, guys. You can just overlay them directly on the footage, or you can use them to create sort of transitions. I'll show you how I make transitions with the film burns here. So most of the time the blend mode will be screen, and you want to remember to set the frame size. And then what you do is you look for that brightest point in the film burn where the screen goes almost completely white, and you want to line that up to the actual cut between your two clips so that it sort of happens right at that moment and it covers the cut and it looks like the transition comes out of the film burn. And if you want, like I usually do, you can just scale it up and keep the perforation out of the image because it's sort of a distraction. And don't be afraid to play around with other blend modes either, like difference tends to be a good one. And in these film burns, we also have some punch holes, which are really interesting, and those can be used for some custom transitions if you're creative. Let me just show you really quickly the kind of effect that we're talking about. You can see that you get a little glimpse of your upcoming clip through the punch hole, you know, depending on the blend mode that you're using. So thank you guys. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.